Millions of Americans are living with diabetes. Yet despite nearly 40 new pills and injections approved over the past decade, a significant number of them are still struggling to get things under control. So joining me now, we have Dr. Steve Edelman, who's the founder of Taking Control of Your Diabetes, along with Dr. William Polonsky, who's the president of the Behavioral Diabetes Institute. And they are coming to us from the American Diabetes Association Scientific Sessions in New Orleans. This is the largest diabetes meeting in the world. So gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking some time out.
Thank you, Robin.
Glad to be here.
All right, so let's talk about the fact that with all these new treatments, why aren't people able to gain more control over their blood sugar? Why aren't these things working for everybody?
Well, I just want to reemphasize what you said. We just came from 5 days of grueling meetings, and the epidemic of diabetes is still increasing. And the scientists and pharmaceutical industry are coming up with some really good therapies for people with diabetes. But we've learned from our research that people are not taking their medication.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that are involved, but really the critical thing we understand is that if we can, most people would prefer to live a long and healthy life, but the difference between what the amazing evidence we see in scientific studies versus the unfortunately not so great data we see in the real world is, well, pills and injectable medications don't work very well if people don't want to take their medications.
And so what are the consequences? What's happening because these people are not taking their medications?
Yeah, and I want to emphasize that it's a very common problem, not just a sporadic problem. The consequences are pretty severe. You know, eye disease, kidney disease, nerve disease, and heart disease. But I think it's always important to tell your viewers that if you take your medications regularly and control your diabetes, you can avoid these complications 100%.
Yeah, we like to say, again, with good care and effort, you can really live a long and healthy life with diabetes. The terrible consequences, the awful complications that can arise, really have to do when people kind of aren't doing all that.
We don't believe in scare tactics. You know, we want knowledge is power, and the person who needs to be the most knowledgeable is the person living with diabetes. Their doctor can't follow them around. So it's a combination of fantastic new drugs, safe, approved by the FDA, and some knowledge.
So doctors, let's get a little advice maybe. Obviously taking their medication is going to be first and foremost, but are there other ways that you can kind of tell people that they can take better control of their diabetes? What can people be doing to get better at all of these things?
Well, I think actually part of the problem is there's too much. I mean, the most important thing is to stay informed, right? So, you know, go to reputable websites like diabetes.org, which is a website for the American Diabetes Association, or Dr. Edelman's website for the organization he runs, Taking Control of Your Diabetes. And so his website is tcoyd.org. So getting informed and understanding, even though there's so many ways in which you can manage your diabetes effectively, things you can do, meaning following a diabetes-friendly way of eating and regular exercise and blood glucose monitoring and seeing your doctor regularly. The reason we wanted to talk about taking your medications regularly is because you're probably going to get bigger bang for your buck from making sure you're on the right medication than taking it than all the other things that we talk about so much. And it's something we don't pay enough attention to.
Thanks, Robin, for taking the time to talk to us.
Oh, absolutely. Glad to see that things are happening. So I want to thank you guys for bringing that to us.
Sure.
Take care now.
Thanks.